What if I told you that right now in your own kitchen there's an extremely dangerous poison hiding? You see it every day, you trust it, and it's very likely you consumed it in your breakfast this morning. These familiar things aren't as harmless as they seem. They don't kill you immediately. They're more cruel than that. Drop by drop, day after day, they silently corrode, oxidize, and destroy the most valuable and complex organ in your body, your brain. Hello, I'm Dr. Brad Westwood. Throughout my 20 years of practice in neurology, what has hurt my heart the most isn't the incurable diseases. It's watching wonderful people full of memories, intelligence, and lucidity, fade away little by little from damage that could have been perfectly prevented. They come to see me when it's already too late, when the mental fog has completely covered their minds. Today I've decided to break this silence, but I'm not going to talk to you with difficult medical terms. I want to sit here in front of you like a friend to tell you the naked truth. I'm going to show you exactly what the worst toxin is that's poisoning your neurons without you knowing it. Stay with me. Why? Identifying it right now isn't just knowledge. It's the only shield that can save your memory and your identity before the door of time closes. Thank you for giving me these minutes for your health. Let's start right now. My friend, our brain is a silent hero in every sense of the word. Imagine it as a talented orchestra conductor coordinating every heartbeat, every thought, and storing a lifetime of memories. But it works in absolute silence, and that's precisely the double-edged sword. When the heart gets tired, it hurts. When the stomach is weak, it burns. But when the brain starts to deteriorate, it gives us no signal. Neurodegeneration is like a stealthy thief in the night. It doesn't attack head-on. It steals your lucidity little by little over many years. When you start to notice you're forgetting more, that it's hard to find words, that you feel confused, usually the damage is already deep, and sometimes it cannot be reversed. In my office, I've seen the fear in the eyes of so many patients when they receive a dementia diagnosis. The most painful question they always ask me is, "Doctor, why didn't I realize it sooner?" The answer lies in the silent toxins we live with every day without knowing it. Today, I'm here to change that. I want to give you back control. We're going to unmask together the list of the most dangerous enemies, from the most common to the most devastating. Come with me, because what you're about to discover isn't just information. It's the map to protect your dignity and your memory in the years to come. If you're ready to learn the truth about what's destroying your brain, write the number 1 in the comments right now. Why your brain becomes vulnerable. Before we explore this list, we must understand something very important. As we age, we become more vulnerable to these toxins. Age simply changes the rules of the game. Just as hair turns gray and sight weakens, the brain also ages with the years. Imagine it as the engine of a classic car that has faithfully functioned for 60 or 70 years. It still works, it's still valuable, but it can no longer tolerate poor quality fuels like it could at age 20. The problem is this: we often fill that precious engine with toxins without realizing it, forcing it to climb a steep hill every day. This damage doesn't happen overnight. It's the accumulation of thousands of micro-injuries over decades, and that silent wear is the direct path toward the shadows called Alzheimer's or dementia. Additionally, at this age, we usually face 3 more enemies: hypertension, diabetes, and cholesterol. I call them the 3 hammers that constantly pound the delicate vascular network of the brain. Anything that gives them more strength is a direct attack on your mind. To help you defend yourself, I've distilled a list of the 4 most dangerous destroyers. We'll start with the strange one, something that's not food or drink, and will advance until we reach number 1, a true wolf in sheep's clothing. The most common, the most addictive, and the most destructive. I had a patient named Elizabeth, 68 years old, who came to me because she was forgetting her grandchildren's names. She thought it was normal aging, but when I looked at her daily habits, I found all 4 of these toxins destroying her brain every single day. Within 6 months of eliminating them, her memory came back so sharp that she called me crying. She said it felt like someone had lifted a veil from her mind. That's the power of knowing your enemies. Let's start right now. Toxin 4, not moving enough. The 4th enemy on this list is a master of disguise. It's not on your plate, it doesn't hide in your glass. It's not something you consume, but something you don't do. I'm talking about inactivity, the sedentary lifestyle. You might ask, doctor, if I'm just sitting, what does that have to do with my brain? The answer is everything. Imagine your brain as a huge hanging garden. Although it only represents 2% of your body weight, it consumes up to 20% of the oxygen and energy you produce. For that garden to stay green and alive, it needs a constant and powerful irrigation system. Your blood vessels are that river of life. When you walk, when you move, the heart beats strongly and pushes a torrent of fluid, oxygen-rich blood. That clean river sweeps away waste and nourishes every nerve cell. But when you remain sitting for hours on the couch, that river starts to slow down until it becomes a stagnant puddle. And you already know what happens in a puddle. Mud accumulates, oxygen disappears, and the environment becomes toxic. That's the moment when the doors open to the worst enemies: obesity, hypertension, and diabetes. But the most painful loss occurs with an extraordinary compound called BDNF. I call it the brain's elixir. It acts like premium fertilizer that helps new neurons be born, strengthens nerve connections, and protects your memory. Every step you take releases a dose of this elixir. On the contrary, inactivity closes the valve that releases BDNF. The result is a brain that starts to wither and an Alzheimer's risk that shoots up to 50%. So what's the solution? Don't be scared. You don't need to become an Olympic athlete tomorrow. The solution is within your reach. Break the stillness. If you must remain seated a long time, set an alarm every hour. It's enough to stand up, stretch, and pour yourself a glass of water. That small gesture is enough to reactivate blood flow to the brain. Then invite your legs for a walk. You don't need to run a marathon. Start with 10 minutes walking around your neighborhood. The following week increase to 15. The secret is in consistency, not intensity. Walking is the best natural sedative. It controls glucose, reduces stress, and fills the mind with oxygen. Even if it's hard for you to move, you can exercise from a chair. Lift your arms, rotate your ankles, flex, and stretch your knees. Engrave this phrase: any movement is better than staying still. Every step you take is a stream of fresh water irrigating your mental garden. Stand up and let the river of life keep flowing. If you're realizing you've been sitting too much, write the number 2 in the comments. Toxin 3, the alcohol trap. My friend, the 3rd toxin on this list is one of the most dangerous in the art of disguise. It's present at all celebrations. It shines elegantly in crystal glasses and is received with radiant smiles. I'm talking about alcohol. Millions of people keep repeating a phrase like a lullaby: a glass of red wine is good for the heart. But today I want you to see it from another perspective, a more real and scientific one. And I must say it clearly, it's a sweet deception. The truth is that alcohol is a direct neurotoxin. When you drink it, it doesn't just enter the stomach. It crosses the most protected barrier in the body, the blood-brain barrier, as easily as if it didn't exist. And once inside, the destruction begins. First, it shrinks your brain, literally. Alcohol kills neurons faster than your body can regenerate them. Second, it attacks the hippocampus head-on, the chest where you store all your most precious memories. Third, and most cruel, it turns off the fire that produces BDNF, the brain fertilizer we talked about before. Every glass you drink to relax actually fans an inflammatory fire that spreads throughout your entire brain. Studies are clear. Even drinking a moderate but frequent amount significantly accelerates the path toward dementia. I had a patient named Robert, 71, who was drinking 2 glasses of wine every single night thinking it was healthy. His memory was failing, he was irritable, and he couldn't sleep well. When we eliminated the alcohol completely, within 8 weeks, his brain fog lifted. He told me it was like someone had turned the lights back on in his head. His wife said she got her husband back. That's what alcohol does. It steals the person you love from inside their own body. So, what's the solution? Start with an honest question. Do I really need this toxin to feel happy or relaxed? If the answer is yes, that's a warning signal. Seek calm in meditation, in walks, or in healthy hobbies. If you still want to drink, make alcohol a rare guest. Don't let it in every day or every week. Reserve it only for truly special occasions and in small amounts. My golden rule is, there is no absolutely safe dose for an aging brain. Every drop has a price. If you can live without alcohol, your brain will thank you every morning with the most wonderful lucidity. Toxin 2, not sleeping enough. Now let's advance to the second toxin. This is perhaps the most underestimated enemy, but also the cruelest for our brain: sleep deprivation. In my office, I hear many patients say with pride, "Doctor, I only need to sleep 5 or 6 hours. I feel fine." My friend, that's a dangerous misunderstanding. Feeling fine doesn't mean your brain is safe. Imagine your brain as a vibrant city. All day it works tirelessly to direct every thought and every movement. That continuous effort produces an enormous amount of metabolic waste, toxins that accumulate between the grooves of nerve cells. So when does this city get cleaned? Only while you sleep. When you enter deep sleep, an extraordinary cleaning system called the glymphatic system activates. The spaces in the brain expand, and cerebrospinal fluid flows like a mighty river, sweeping away all the garbage. Among those wastes are 2 especially dangerous enemies, beta amyloid and tau protein. These are the plaques that cause Alzheimer's. If you cut your sleep hours, the cleaning crew can't complete its work. Waste accumulates day after day, year after year. It crystallizes into toxins that silently suffocate neurons and throw wide open the doors to dementia. Additionally, sleep is the moment when the brain builds the house of memory. If you don't sleep enough, today's valuable memories will never be permanently stored tomorrow. I had a patient named Margaret, 66, who was sleeping only 5 hours a night because she thought sleep was a waste of time. She wanted to be productive, but her memory was failing terribly. She couldn't remember conversations from the same morning. When we got her sleeping 8 hours consistently, within 1 month, her memory improved so dramatically that she couldn't believe it. She said it felt like her brain had been starving and finally got fed. That's exactly what was happening. Her brain was starving for the one thing it needed most: deep, restorative sleep. So what's the solution? I beg you to make sleep a sacred ritual. Sleeping isn't a luxury or a waste of time. It's the foundation of life, as essential as breathing. I want you to do the following. First, quantity, 7 to 9 hours every night. You can't make up for lost sleep on the weekend because yesterday's damage already happened. Second, regularity. Go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on rest days. Your brain loves the consistency of circadian rhythm. Third, create a sanctuary. Turn your bedroom into a quiet, dark, cool, and silent cave. Fourth, limit digital. Turn off all screens at least 1 hour before sleep. Don't let blue light steal your sleep hormone. Fifth, watch what you consume. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. And remember, alcohol may help you fall asleep fast, but destroys the quality of deep sleep. Lastly, if you snore loudly or are always tired, see a doctor. Sleep apnea is when your brain is strangled by lack of oxygen hundreds of times every night. Give your brain the rest it deserves, because when you sleep is when your mind is reborn. If you're realizing you haven't been sleeping enough, write the number 3 in the comments. Toxin 1. Sugar kills your brain. We've traveled an important path identifying brain enemies: inactivity, alcohol, and lack of sleep. All of them are terrifying. But now I want you to take a deep breath and listen carefully. Because the enemy I'm about to tell you about is the true poison number 1. It's the undisputed champion of silent destruction. It's the most addictive. It's present in every corner of your kitchen. And most painful, it's responsible for the most devastating damage to your memory. I'm talking about the inseparable duo, sugar and refined flour. Yes, that sweet white powder, the pastry, the soda, the slices of white bread, and the plate of pasta you eat every day. In my 20 years of work, I can assure you that this couple is the reason dementia has become a silent epidemic in modern society. Why am I so categorical? Because sugar and refined flour don't attack you with a single blow. They launch a total offensive from 5 fronts against your brain. First attack, brain starvation. When you eat sugar, you generate a massive wave of glucose in the blood. If this repeats every day, your body becomes insulin resistant. And the tragic thing is that your brain does too. Neurons become insensitive, close their doors, and reject energy. Even though your blood is flooded with sugar, your brain is starving to death. That's why scientists call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. Those who have diabetes have double the risk of suffering dementia. Second attack, inflammatory fire. Sugar is fuel for inflammation. Every spoonful you consume is like fanning a chronic flame in the brain. That fire burns neurons and breaks the threads that connect them. It's one of the main engines of accelerated brain aging. Third attack, cutting off the life supply. Sugar destroys the inner layer of blood vessels, causes atherosclerosis and hypertension. When the highways that carry blood to the brain narrow or block, neurons die suffocated by lack of oxygen. The result is vascular dementia, a slow death of the mind. Fourth attack, brain caramelization. This is a terrifying but real image. When there's excess sugar in the blood, it firmly adheres to brain proteins, creating a process called glycation. Imagine melting sugar in a hot pan. It becomes sticky and hard. The same happens in your head. Proteins caramelize, deform, and form beta amyloid plaques, the hallmark of Alzheimer's. And the last attack, destroying regeneration. Sugar annihilates BDNF, the miracle fertilizer that helps the brain repair itself and generate new cells. Without BDNF, the brain loses the ability to learn and form new memories. My friend, every time you refuse a pastry, You're not dieting to maintain your figure. You're protecting your own identity and your memories from these 5 devastating attacks. I know this panorama may have caused you anxiety. It's a total and brutal attack, but I have wonderful news for you. Your brain possesses an extraordinary recovery capacity. It's like fertile land that's just waiting for you to stop spraying it with toxins to bloom again. How to protect your brain starting today. The solution is in your hands. Let's regain control with 5 strategic steps. Step 1. Investigate foods before consuming them. Sugar hides under names like fructose, dextrose, maltose, or corn syrup. When you pick up food, read the label. Don't let those names fool you. Step 2. Limit toxic drinks. Sodas and packaged juices are pure liquid sugar. One can contains up to 10 teaspoons of sugar entering directly into your blood. Exchange them for water with fresh lemon, or herbal tea. This is one of the most powerful rescue acts you can do today. Step 3. Beware of the low-fat trap. When they remove fat, they usually fill food with sugar to compensate. Choose authentic, natural Greek yogurt with fresh berries. That's real nutrition. Step 4. Use healthy fats. Your brain is 60% fat and needs quality fat. Be generous with olive oil, avocado, nuts, and fatty fish. Their armor protecting every nerve cell. Step 5. Choose real food. Prioritize foods that grow from earth or swim in water, not those from a factory. When your plate is full of vegetables, fresh fish, clean meat, and vibrant fruits, sugar and refined flour won't have a place. Breaking sugar chains isn't penance. It's the bravest act of defense for your mind. I had a patient named Thomas, 70, eating cereal for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, and pasta for dinner daily. His memory was failing so badly his family thought he had Alzheimer's. When we eliminated all refined carbs and sugar and switched him to eggs, vegetables, fish, and healthy fats, within 3 months his cognitive tests improved by 40%. His neurologist couldn't believe it. Thomas told me he felt like he woke up from a decade-long fog. That's the power of removing this poison. Your brain can still recover. We've traveled a long road together today. We've unmasked 4 silent enemies: inactivity that dries up BDNF flow, alcohol, the neurotoxin that shrinks the brain, lack of sleep when nighttime cleaning collapses, and finally sugar and refined flour, the duo launching total offensive against every neuron. I know seeing this panorama may feel overwhelming, even scary, but my goal isn't to sow fear. My only purpose is to give you power, because truth, even when it hurts, is the only torch illuminating the path toward wiser decisions. Engrave this in your heart. Dementia or Alzheimer's is not inevitable destiny. It's not a card of chance. Control is in your hands right now. I'm not asking you to change your life overnight. That would be impossible. I just want one small step today and another tomorrow. Every time you refuse a spoonful of sugar, every time you walk a little more, it's a victory. It's proof you're loving yourself. Science gives us hope. People maintaining healthy lifestyle can reduce dementia risk by up to 70%. 70%. Most memory tragedies can be prevented. You have power to rewrite your life story, because the mind isn't just an organ. It's the most valuable treasure you possess. It stores the smile of those you love, life lessons, your identity, the capacity to love and be loved. Don't let it fade away. If this video awakened you, share it. Send it to your children, spouse, a dear friend. Your small click could be the lifeline helping someone preserve their memories. Subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll always be here offering truths without sugar, but full of value. Leave me a comment below. What surprised you most today? What will be the first habit you'll change? I'll read your words. So together we build a strong community. Thank you for dedicating time to what's most important, your health. Your brain has worked tirelessly for you every second. Respond with gratitude and conscious decisions. I'm Dr. Brad Westwood. I wish you a long, healthy life and a clear, lucid mind until the last day. Stay sharp and protect that beautiful brain of yours.